Welcome to Compai's Expat channel. I'm Compai. I am Sisua's voice of reason. Guys, in this video, we're going to talk about mortgages and why you don't want one. But I tell you where you do want to stay, and that's my business, Casa De Compai.
There's a lot of places to rent in Sisua. If you're looking for peaceful, affordable, and tranquil, look at Casa De Compai, Sisua's hidden gem. When you're ready to reserve at Casa De Compai, my contact information is in the description down below.
Guys, thank you for watching my commercial for Casa De Compai. If you're interested in renting in my business, my contact information is in the description down below. So, guys, I've been talking for about a good year, a little longer than a year, of how the rental market is changing in Sisua, how it's slowing down. I did this before the crackdown. I've done this before Airbnb did their purge. And I've been telling people along the way, Airbnb is not your savior. It's not going to make you that 10% like everybody is saying. And was also saying before that how the attitude in Sisua is changing as well, and how that affects the real estate market. I am mostly a real estate channel. I do the lifestyle side of it as well, but I'm a real estate guy through and through. And that's why I'm able to say a lot of the things I say in this channel, because I have the experience of buying down here, selling down here, building down here, renovating down here. I've done it all, and I've done it all over an extended period of time. But one thing that I really haven't seen that much of is mortgages. We're not a mortgage country. It's always been cash and carry. And that helps us on one avenue and hurts us on another. It takes away the bubble like you're accustomed to in America. You don't have the banks giving out credit, inflating the real estate market, and then when people can't afford to pay, they're pulling, the banks take those property back, creates a lot of inventory hitting the market, which drives down the real estate prices. That's why when you pretty much see real estate hit a price and stay for an extended period of time, and then it inflates again, stays at that price, and then that's pretty much how it goes. It's not a cycle where inflate, deflate, inflate, deflate. Think of it along the lines as you get the price, and then it inflates. And then it gets the price, and then boom, it inflates. Where you see the deflation come is on the individual. You don't see it collectively. But I've had a bunch of people send me emails, a lot of WhatsApp. John, what's going on with the mortgages? What's going on with the mortgages? Now, they've started doing mortgages down here. They have. And it's predominantly a select few banks giving mortgages to a lot of vets, are getting car loans down here, and are getting mortgages based on their criteria in the states that they're using to get a mortgage down here. But it's easier said than done. I'm not a big fan of mortgages down here. And let me explain why. As Americans, we're used to a certain process. We're used to having things in place to protect the consumer. Title search. When you buy a property, they do a title search. You get title insurance in case there's something wrong with that title. It protects you, the consumer. We don't have that down here. We have a mortgage industry that's extremely well regulated. We don't have that down here. You have professionals, whether they're attorneys who pretty much focus on only real estate. You have mortgage companies that have to abide to very specific laws. You have a banking industry that's very well defined. And most importantly, you have real estate agents that have a license, that's their livelihood, and the last thing they want to do is lose that license. You don't have that down here. You also don't have appraisers who come down here who appraise your property independently. You don't have that down here. So there's a lot of things that is missing down here to give this mortgage industry a lot more integrity. It's pretty much based down here, the bank's going to give you a loan on their appraisal of that property based on what they think you can pay back. That's fair. I agree with that. But let me back up a little bit. What is my expat rule number one? Shady people hang out in the sun. What's my expat rule number two? The Dominicans will screw you for $100. The gringos will fuck you for $1,000. It's pretty much fact. So now, let's go back into the context of what I always say, pre-COVID, post-COVID. You've had too many people come down here post-COVID, riding the wave of the stimulus money, creating inflation in the real estate market, and a lot of these real estate agents don't know where they're selling you property. They know how to do the Canadian and American system. Let me drive you around. Let me show you these real estate listings. Let me give you a walking tour around Sosua. But they don't have the knowledge of that part floods, that part has a history of break-ins, that part of the town people couldn't sell for 7 years. So when the times were good, money was flying in, everybody was buying, they made some money. Well, now things are changing. And guys, let me go down memory lane. And guys, this is one of the thumbnails I did of a video I did a couple months ago. Fire sales have already started, and they have. But you're not seeing the price reduction across the board because this is an individual base fire sale system down here. You don't see the market correcting 15%, 20% like you do in Florida, like you do in Las Vegas. You just don't see it. So that's what I want everybody to understand. The way of doing things is different. So let me go back to something else that I talked about. This is what I was saying about Airbnb. A lot of these real estate agents and YouTube content creators, because they're one and the same, guys, they all have certain things in common. They're chasing commission. Some of them are full-blown concubines for commission. You can't have a certain level of integrity when you're talking about real estate, when you're a YouTube content creator, when you do a day tour to some remote part of the Dominican Republic and you come out saying this is the next latest and greatest hotspot. It doesn't work like that, guys. Basically, just because your favorite content creator goes to that section goes to that part of the country, signs a commission agreement, promotes it, and gives his feelings why it's the next hotspot. It might be in a decade. Remember, the country cannot provide enough water and lights for the existing tourist areas now. What makes you think some city in the middle of nowhere is going to do it better? It's not going to happen. So take that in consideration when somebody's peddling you a product. You got to do your own research. You got to do your own due diligence, because most of these YouTube content creators, real estate agents, are 2 steps away from step number 3, which is leaving the island. They're all chasing commission, and most of them, I honestly believe, are well underfunded. And the ones you see begging for Cash App are this close from being kicked off the island, Survivor style. It's just a different world for them. So guys, here's another one that I did a year ago. This is moving very quickly down here. So what's going on? The problem is people bought during the hype. The last 4 years, the run-up in prices was crazy. And let me give you an example. All you guys who say, John, where's your stats? My stats is doing business down here for 15 years. Buying, selling, refurbishing, redoing, improving. Done it all down here in 15 years, guys. I understand what it takes to do business down here. I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm trying to tell you I've done it. I know what it takes. I know how to be successful. So when these guys are coming down here less than 3 years, are telling you what you need to do, they don't know well enough. There's too many things that go wrong, okay? So for these people who were telling you buy for the last 3 years, I've been telling you for the last year and a half, slow down. There's a correction coming. I was also the guy that said, don't hitch your wagon to Airbnb. I was also the guy saying, hey, there's going to be a huge crackdown in Sosua coming. I called all these things long before anybody else did. Up until the market turned, every one of my social media content creators were chasing headlines, and they're still chasing headlines. When they were saying buy, I was saying hold, don't do it. Now they're saying, let's talk about mortgages. Guys, you do not want a mortgage down here. The first reason you don't want a mortgage down here because the mortgage industry down here is not developed enough for you to risk your money down here in it. Most people don't have the background and the understanding of the financial system to be able to navigate this. You have to assume so much responsibility in that purchase of that property through a bank or through a private lender. There's too much to go wrong because you don't have all the institutions to protect you as the consumer. It's buyer beware. 2 points I want to make very clearly. So I want everybody to understand exactly what I'm going to say because this is what's going to trip you up. And this is what the commission concubines are not going to tell you. There's no quick claim deed here. When you buy a property in the United States of America, you're at settlement and you have a mortgage from an institution, a lending institution, you're going to get a quick claim deed that's been verified through a title search that there's no liens on that property. Down here, title does not switch individuals until the debt is paid in full. That puts you, the buyer, behind the 8 ball because a lot of people think they can play the American bankruptcy game down here and you can't do it. I've had a guy 2 weeks ago sitting in my bar in Casa De Compai saying how he wanted to do exactly that with his property. Well, I'll just drag it out in court. No, there's no dragging out bankruptcy in court. You can't drag out that foreclosure, guys. Most of these loans set up down here, most of them, when you miss that third payment, that property possession goes back to the seller. Whoever holds that mortgage, whoever has clear title, when you don't fulfill your financial obligations after the third payment, which is the norm down here, they take it back. You lost your deposit, You lost everything you put into that property in the forms of furniture, landscaping, upgrades. You lost it. Gone. That's where I believe is what's going to trip up a lot of the American consumers down here. They got into these mortgages. You have people peddling right now, mortgage brokers. Guys, I've never seen a mortgage broker down here. I've never heard of a mortgage broker down here. I'm sure they probably do exist by now because the mortgage market is growing down here. I would be very skeptical of using a mortgage broker because it's such a new business. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm not saying people haven't been successful with it. I don't want to be the first one out of the gate doing a test run with my money. There's too much that can go wrong down here. Guys, just title fraud down here is huge. There were gringos in Sosua thrown in jail a couple months ago for title fraud. There were Dominicans thrown in jail down here in Sosua for title fraud. I know a lot of people who've been scammed on title fraud. Not because they did anything wrong, just because of the way things are down here. They've gotten a lot better in the last 10, 15 years. But guys, it's still something you need to be concerned about. So when you have these real estate agents who need to make money, need to chase that commission, and you have the YouTube content creators working in cahoots to make that commission, you got to be wary. Don't take everything you see on this platform as gospel. There's a lot of shady people down here. I'm not calling out anybody specifically. I'm saying in general, you as the consumer, you need to understand maybe getting that mortgage isn't your best bet. Maybe that's not the way to go. This is a cash and carry real estate market. That's why you don't see the prices falling the way they do, because people buy cash for it. There's no debt. Debt is an anchor around your neck. Getting into debt in the Caribbean is not wise. It just doesn't make sense because your debt more than likely is going to be in American dollars. Most people come down here and try to make a living on pesos. You cannot do that down here. If you own a restaurant and a bar, you're getting paid in pesos. I have one of the few businesses where I make an American-style income, but my bills are in pesos. Think about that. I'm making American money, but my expenses are in a weaker currency in pesos on that local rate. That's how you get ahead here. But a lot of people tried doing that under the Airbnb model. But the problem was they came in and bought at such a high price that the price per night can't cover that property with the debt, with a mortgage, can't service that debt as price per night falls. That's what you're seeing. So guys, they're the losers. The people that have gotten mortgages, who are listening to the people to get these mortgages, and they're obviously promoting ways to get mortgages now. Buyer beware. So who's going to be the winner? The winner are the people that listen to me, not the people that said buy, buy, buy. Because everybody was saying buy until this summer. I want everybody to acknowledge that. Most of these YouTube content creators were saying buy, buy, buy. Things have never been better. I just pulled up thumbnails of 3 of my videos that I've been doing consistently for over a year saying things are slowing down, things are getting worse. Make sure you know what you're getting into. Be careful. Things are slowing down. But I was giving out the warning signs. So the people who listen to me are now going to come in and act and do what investors do. Investors sell high, buy low. Now's the time to get into the market. I would like to see everybody wait because like I've said in some of the videos that I've done, Winter's coming. Well, guess what? Winter's here. We're in the panic season right now. People are just flat out panicking. Come the second quarter of 2026, it's going to be the oh shit season. Oh shit, I can't keep this property. What do I do? And that's where people are going to get desperate. And they're going to say, I'll hold the mortgage. I'll do this. I'll do that. You want to buy it? Let's work with a mortgage broker. That's what's coming. And I want everybody to be aware of that. There's a lot of shady shit that goes on down here. Don't buy into it just because the person on the other end of the camera is a good talker and speaks the same language you do. The people who have cash, who can come down and use the buyer's desire to get into the market when things were at their most expensive, he's going to win. He's going to be able to get in, get that property, because the people who bought party villas are losing them. They're losing them fairly quickly. What I'm shocked about is the amount of people who were on such thin ice financially that all it took was a couple months of slower sales that they're unloading their property. That's scary. That's why I'm saying this high season is not going to be the financial savior that a lot of these investors, or I call them buyers, that these buyers need. It's not going to give them the capital to save them. Every month, things get worse for them because their HOA fees don't stop. The electricity bills don't stop. Cable bills don't stop. Everything it takes to run that business doesn't stop. And they're not having people use their business. If you have cash, I'm telling you right now, the second quarter of next year is going to be golden. Do your homework. Find a real estate agent who's been down here a while. You need somebody who honestly knows the market, not just to drive you around to show you listings. Now, I'm not pushing real estate agents. This is a commission content-free channel. I don't push commission. I only tell you about my business. I don't need to chase commission to support my lifestyle. I've already made it, guys. I got the house I want to live in. I got the businesses I want to have. Guys, that sign, Compai, right there, that sign is for my cigar lounge. That's my own cigar brand. I developed my own cigars. Guys, I do this channel to save people from losing money. I do this channel to be the voice of reason. I do this channel because I enjoy it. It gives me something to do. I don't want to see more people pulling me aside and say, John, man, let me tell you how I got screwed. I'm tired of hearing this over the last 10 years. So, guys, if you are that person that's looking to purchase, and if you have cash, it's going to be wonderful. Offers are going to, options, opportunities, they're going to be out there, and they're going to be out there very good. And this also goes for all the guys who picked up those 4 or 5 condos. I built my YouTube empire. Remember those videos? I built my YouTube I built my empire. Guys, they're all done on debt. I talk about them in the videos. You cannot survive with debt down here, and it's going to start to really crush people. So the investors, woo, good times are coming. It is wonderful. Good times are coming. And guys, I think it's going to be a good time. I'm excited. I wish I was a little younger and I had more hunger to really get back into the real estate game. But I'm too old. You know, I'm 58. I'm happy where I'm at. Unless something falls in my lap that I just can't say no to, I'm going to sit this one out and just talk about it because that makes me happy. So guys, with that being said, keep private personal and personal private. The buyers have already lost. the investors, the time to win has arrived. Peace out.